It's time once again for That Business Show with Jamie Meloni on 1250 Wins WHNZ, where business becomes show business. Now, live in studio and promoting the entrepreneurial spirit that drives the American economy, your host, Jamie Meloni.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business. Keep in mind, you can find this show here on 1250 WHNZ weekdays at 8 a.m., and this show is all about our business owners, entrepreneurs, political leaders, and people making a difference in and around the community. As always, I extend an invite to people in the community that are fellow business owners and would like to get their message out on the airwaves. Feel free to reach out to me. I got a lot of people contacting me. The show's growing very nicely, and got a lot of great people coming into the studio. So please feel free to reach out to me. Best way to get me, send me an email, jamie@tampabayradio.com, and give me a quick pitch of what it is that you're doing. And I'd love to get you in here and talk with you on the airwaves. And there is no charge for a guest appearance, so please don't let that stop you. Also, learn more about my show over at tampabayradio.com, and please help support the sponsors to the show. On the homepage there, you'll see a link to the preferred provider. So please help support our sponsors and help keep the show growing, as this show is, again, all about a positive message and taking a break from all the political talk and disputes and stuff that we hear on the airwaves and on the television sets each and every day. And I wanted to bring something positive to the airwaves, and that's what That Business Show is all about. And again, you'll find it here weekdays at 8 a.m. on 1250 WHNZ. Also, feel free to connect with me on all the social networking sites. I'm pretty much all over the place. Facebook.com/That Business Show. Twitter under Jamie_Meloni. I even put the show up on iTunes after each show, usually up within 24 to 48 hours. So for the podcast enthusiasts, they can listen on demand at iTunes. Just search for That Business Show. Also over on SoundCloud and YouTube, and all the shows are streamed live as well. If you go to tampabayradio.com, you'll see a link to the live stream. You can see us here live in studio, and you can watch the video playback over on my YouTube channel as well. Just search for That Business Show, or of course my name, Jamie Meloni. It's Wednesday, and that means it's Working Women Wednesdays, a weekly feature here on That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, sponsored by the Working Women of Tampa Bay Networking Group. And I've got on the phone the CEO and founder of the group, Jessica Rivelli. Jessica, how are you doing today?
Hey, Jamie, good. How are you?
Doing great. So I know the Women's Final Four was in town here just this past week, and you got to attend some of the games and some of the events. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, the big event was last night and was just fabulous. I actually watched it from home. But before that, I had an opportunity to attend a fantastic networking event that they did on Sunday during the Final Four tournament. And then they did a beautiful lunch with Sheila Johnson on Monday, which was just great. I mean, there was just such excitement in and around this particular event, especially from the women's business community. It really felt like women from all different groups and different professions got together to really support what this was all about, which was showcasing these talented women athletes. Very cool experience. The Tampa Sports Commission, you had Claire Lessinger on a couple of weeks ago, just did such a great job, and it really hit home why we're getting this big event back in 4 years, because they did a fantastic job.
Yeah, and we had Claire Lessinger, you just mentioned, from the Tampa Bay Sports Commission on the show here just actually about 3 or 4 weeks ago and everything. So, but talk to me about some of the guests that we have in studio today. Bevan Rogel and Michele Norris. Today's topic going to be the baby boomer entrepreneur generation and talking points about. So, talk to me about my guests that you've sent in today for Working Women Wednesdays.
Well, what was so cool is during that networking event that I went to on Monday with Sheila Johnson, who is the co-founder of BET, she had a really great thing about saying, that we need to lift women as we rise. And that's perfectly in line with what Michele and Bevan are going to talk about today. Even though both of them are in two different worlds, Michele with talking about millennials and with Bevan talking about baby boomers and how they can have this third act in their life. At the end of the day, what women do and what they continue to need to do is to support one another. And I love this idea of that as women get either more stronger in their business or they're climbing the corporate ladder, that they need to lift other people behind them as they rise. And so I just think what's so neat about Bevan and Michele and the fact that they work together is that it really gives a great spectrum of, the millennials who are kind of coming up in the workforce, and now the baby boomers who are looking to give back and really to have an opportunity to go after their passion themselves. So I'm really excited about the show today because I really feel like they're going to be able to explain to you, what the status of working women is right now in America and how we can all help each other continue to follow our passion, which is what entrepreneurship is all about.
Yeah, absolutely. Real quick, Jessica, any events coming up for the Working Women of Tampa Bay that you want to get out over the airwaves? I know you've got a lot of stuff going on each and every week, and of course people can learn more over at workingwomenoftampabay.com, but are there any events you want to mention while I got you on the phone still?
Yeah, the one that pops up in my mind right now that we just put on the calendar is on April 22nd, which is the fourth Wednesday. We'll be over at the DoubleTree on Rocky Point for our power lunch, and the speaker this month is Tracy Young, who left her. Speaking of radio, she left her career of 15 years. I think actually she works for the radio station that you're sitting in right now.
Oh, really? I'm not familiar, unfortunately, but yeah, go ahead.
She left radio to follow her passion, which was to open an ad agency. So she's going to give a presentation on how doing what you love does pay off, and she's going to talk about her entrepreneurial journey from leaving a very successful media career to opening her own business. So that would be perfect for your listeners, since we are all about promoting the entrepreneurial spirit, and that's what your show's all about.
Absolutely. Jessica, thank you very much for checking in, and also for helping me at the show every Wednesday here on Working Women Wednesdays.
All right, Jamie, have a good day and enjoy Michele and Bevan.
Thank you, Jessica. Take care. That was Jessica Rivelli. She is the CEO and founder of Working Women of Tampa Bay, a local networking group with a lot of membership and a lot of influence and events in and around the Tampa Bay community. So if you're a working women professional in the area, highly recommend you check out her website and consider joining the group. It's you can learn more over at workingwomenoftampabay.com, and also you can find this feature each and every Wednesdays as two professional women from her group are featured on the show here on Working Women Wednesdays. And I've got two professional women in studio with me today. I'm going to go and introduce them both. It's going to be a kind of a group discussion today, talking about generational differences, the baby boomers and the millennials, and the workplace shifts and changes, and how the baby boomers are getting into entrepreneurship. And so I've got Bevan Rogel, who is the president and founder of Encore Tampa Bay. Encore Tampa Bay's mission is to provide pathways, programs, and resources that help baby boomers discover and connect to their Encore careers. She's joined in studio by Michele Norris, who is with Navigen's leadership, Navigen's leadership's mission is to prepare organizations and their associations for the tsunami of demographic and cultural changes in the workforce. To help her clients attract, retain, and get the best from the workforce of the future, Michele Norris concentrates on generational education, corporate culture, and strategic leadership. Michele and Bevan, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jamie. It's great to be here.
Yeah, thank you all very much. So let me start with Michele, and let's get a little bit more of a background on Navigen Leadership. Tell me about the company and what's the role of what your company does.
Certainly. Well, I spent 30 years in corporate America, Jamie, and in the last few years that I was there, I hired my first millennials, and I was, let's just say, shocked and dismayed by my ability or inability thereof to lead them. Mm-hmm. As I learned more, I began speaking with all of my peers, and it was sort of a negative conversation about, I just don't get these people. I don't understand how they work. I must crack this code. And until I really did the research, until I really realized what was happening within the workplace, and how millennials come to the workplace from a different perspective and could make those adjustments, I struggled as a leader. And so I left corporate America in 2008, September 30th, 2008, which was a particularly great day for the stock market. And I started Navigen Leadership, and I have been researching generations for about 11 years now, and understanding exactly what people need to understand in order to properly lead this next generation.
Okay. Let me go over to Bevan Rogel, president and founder of Encore Tampa Bay. And Bevan, I got to apologize to you yesterday. I talked about you coming on today, and my mind immediately went to the Encore development. And when Jessica said that you were coming in, so I got to apologize. But Encore Tampa Bay is a whole different thing. It's nothing to do with the development downtown where my mind naturally went. But I was doing some research on your organization and what you're doing for the baby boomers and stuff. So talk to me about what Encore Tampa Bay is.
Encore Tampa Bay is an organization. I'm part of a national social change movement that's going on all over the country, and part of a national nonprofit called Encore.org. And it's really all about the fact that 79 million baby boomers are really redefining what work and what this word retirement is. No longer retirement, but how am I going to live my life in the second half? And so we're really focused on helping people figure out what that is. And it turns out that a lot of those people want to start new businesses, they want to start a new job, they want to do volunteer work, and they want to give back to the community. So I felt like this was a great opportunity for our community as well as the individuals, really helping them on that path, because it's happening everywhere.
Is this just a shift in reasoning? I mean, people, the baby boomers and their predecessors and stuff were taught to, work in industry and retire at age 62 or around there. Are the entrepreneurs from the baby boomers generation? Is it that you have to work, or is it they want to work? Talk to me about that.
Well, there's a couple quick factors. Is the first of all, we're living to be 85 or 90. So when people used to get their retirement packages at 60 or 65, they didn't have that many years to live on. Mm-hmm. The second is the economy, and the recession has forced people really to stay and work for some kind of continued income in terms of what's there. But really the boomers have been, and Michelle will confirm this, is that we've defined what our lives are like since the 60s with the revolution and sit-ins and peace-ins, and now it's the retirement, and we're like, heck no, we're not going to the villages. We're going to do something exciting and engaging in our lives, whether it be start a business or something else.
I want to hear about some of these exciting things that some of the baby boomer entrepreneurs are doing, and also as well from Michele Norris with Navigen Leadership here on That Business Show with Jamie Meloni when we come back from the break. And again, it's Working Women Wednesdays here on That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business.
Are you looking for a local real estate firm that knows the market and has your interests in mind? Then contact Jim McPeak at McPeak Real Estate Firm, a family-owned business whose agents have over 60-plus years of experience in the Tampa Bay market. Many of the agents are military veterans that know the VA process for buying a home and are proud to help our military members in any way they can. From residential to commercial real estate, McPeak Real Estate Firm is here to help. Contact Jim at 813-495-3875 and learn more at McPeakTeam.com.
Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage wants you to experience the thrill of one-day underwriting and the comfort in knowing your loans will be clear to close in record time. While the competition looks to a lost closing date, Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage focus on their 12-day clear to close. They do this by utilizing their world-class operations staff to underwrite your loan within 6 hours, process your loan in 12 days, and have your loan closed in time. Underwritten in 6 hours, cleared to close in 12 days. Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage.
Hey there, it's Lynn Wise, the founder of Wise Business Advisors and Contractor Business Alliance. I am a certified value builder advisor, and I help business owners build a company that will allow them to have the business that they dreamed of when they started. Why did you go into business for yourself? I'm sure it was not to work 100 hours a week with no work-life balance and no financial freedom. What am I talking about? I'm talking about building a business that provides value to you and your family now and in the future. You can learn about the 8 essential areas of a business that you must build to have a business that can be an asset for your future. Go to wisebusinessadvisors.com and take the Value Builder score. It is free and will deliver your score immediately on how you are doing on building a valuable business for you and your family. Or call me at 772-834-8513 to learn more about the Value Builder system.
In the market for a reverse mortgage? Contact Access Reverse, a local company with personalized service in the Bay Area. Call them at 727-347-0305 or visit accessreverse.com for a no-cost, no-obligation consultation. They'll come to your home and speak with you about the best options for your reverse mortgage. Plus, they offer the lowest closing costs. Don't just get a reverse mortgage. Get the right reverse mortgage with Access Reverse. Visit accessreverse.com. NMLS number 4566. Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com.
This report is brought to you by Advance Auto Parts. Advance Auto Parts introduces Speed Perks Rewards Program. Spend $100 and get $20 off your next qualified purchase. No cards, no points, no nonsense. See details online at advanceautoparts.com.
From the Bright House Network's Traffic Center.
Stop and go traffic this morning, southbound 275 between Fletcher Avenue and Hillsborough Avenue. Also seeing delays southbound 275 from I-4 to about Himes. Westbound I-4 delays from 22nd Street into 275. If you see traffic problems, call the injury firm of Abrahamson and Uterwick. Hillsborough traffic tip line 866-545-9595.
Today, a 20% rain chance with a high 86. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 70. Tomorrow, 10% rain chance, high 87.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
Welcome back, everybody, to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. Here on this Working Women Wednesdays feature, again, a weekly feature highlighting two professional women from the Working Women of Tampa Bay Networking Group, sponsored by Jessica Rivelli. Learn more about them over at workingwomenoftampabay.com. And also, you can learn more about the show over at tampabayradio.com. Currently talk with Michele Norris and Bevan Rogel here in studio today. And I want to go back over to Michele Norris, who is the founder of Navigen Leadership. And your company, focuses on educating, the workforce or employers about the shifts in the workforce, millennials and baby boomers and all that. Talk to me about the landscape of the current workforce out there. What are we looking at? Is there a lot of millennials that are having problems finding jobs? Is there a lot of baby boomers coming in and trying to take these jobs from the millennials? Talk to me about the landscape out there.
Sure. Well, one of the critical things that we have happening is, when I talk about a demographic tsunami, is an incredible change in a very fast period of time. So from a period of 2005 to a period of 2025, millennials will go from around 23% of the workforce to 75% of the workforce in just that short period of time. And the reason it's kind of critical is that this is the first time that we've not had a succession to the next generation down. So Generation X, which is in the middle of boomers and millennials, is just a much smaller population of folks. And as a result, there are not enough Gen Xers to take that leadership helm from the boomers.
Let's real quick define millennials. What year is that? 1980 and older, or what?
Yeah, I use the dates from 1979 to 1997.
Okay, I should 1980, 79.
Yeah, to around the millennial,
okay.
And Gen Xers from 65 to 78. Much smaller population. There's just not as many of them in the workforce. And the reason that we're seeing this huge change is because they're not there to have a natural succession plan to the boomers that are moving into different worlds, and a lot of it going to entrepreneurial, and a lot just aren't leaving the workforce. So what we have now is just a cluster of these three generations that all approach work differently.
Okay, let's go back over to Bevan Rogel, president and founder of Encore Tampa Bay, and your focus is on baby boomers and getting them into entrepreneurship and everything. Tell me, what does baby boomers bring to the workforce?
Well, boomers are their demographic and characteristics is that they were loyal, work ethic. We got out of high school or college and we got on the gerbil wheel. We got on our track, our career track, and we stayed on that track. And that was a good thing. It was loyal. We've got the business knowledge. But there was a point in that what's happening is there's a lot of people who just get to this point where, like, is this all there is? and they really feel like, I'm not feeling like I'm really what is my purpose and my meaning, and really I'm ready to do things on my terms. So that shift is happening, whether people know it or not. It's really happening everywhere. So that the boomers are wanting to do different things. They want to stay in the workforce. 70% are saying they want to work longer, well into their 60s and 70s, but again, they want flexibility. They want to use their talent and skills, but they don't necessarily want to be doing it the exact same way they did before.
What are some of the areas that you see that you coach and assist baby boomers in? What are some of the different areas that they're going into in the entrepreneurial realm?
It's what we call Encore careers, and as it sounds, an Encore is like, this is my best act, and this is the best that I have, and I know that I have something better. So an Encore career could really be anything that really is aligned with your passion and purpose, continued income, and some kind of work. So it could be starting a new business. It could be starting a nonprofit. It could be working within a nonprofit. It could be using your same skills but in a different industry, or it could be people going into a whole new industry. There's target industries such as healthcare and education, nonprofit, and green sustainability are industries that specifically want older, experienced workers, not just people right out of college.
Okay, I'm over at your website, and people can learn more about this at EncoreTampaBay.com. Again, EncoreTampaBay.com. And I see you talk about a three-step approach: identify, retool, and connect. How does this work? If I'm the baby boomer generation and I'm looking to get back into the workforce, how do you work with clients and stuff? How does this whole process work?
Well, it's an interesting. There's not a 10-step process, and each person kind of comes to this point in their lives in different ways. What we find is a lot of times there's some sort of external shift that's happened. Your husband left you, you got laid off of work, you're sick and tired of dealing with that boss that you had for the last 25 years, you're an empty nester. So oftentimes people all of a sudden have something happen to them that forces, or a death or an illness. So all of a sudden those things have you thinking differently. I am not going to my grave working in that same job that I've been in. So the first part of what we do at the Encore Academy, we're at the Greenhouse in St. Petersburg, but we're also doing this in other locations in Tampa as well. We have discussion groups and discovery workshops that really help people go back and look into their past, look at their values, look at some things that have shifted for them. So they really do an internal reflection and introspection to really get to whatever it is, because it's so cool to see people all of a sudden, they were accountants all their lives and they always wanted to teach art to kids, and so they go do that. So
you see that a lot. A lot of people end up trapped into some job from whatever, life circumstances put them into a certain career, certain job, and everybody you talk to has something that they want to do, including myself. I always wanted to do radio.
Yeah. And here you are.
And here I am. I still got to support myself selling real estate each and every day. So people that know that I do the show also, they go to my site, they see that I sell real estate as well. What was your inspiration in starting or getting involved with Encore Tampa Bay? This is a national movement as well, too.
Yes. I'm an Encore career story, and what happened to me is I have one child that I lived my life for, who went to college about three and a half years ago. She's getting ready to graduate. I was the Girl Scout mom, I was the Ophelia mom, I was the PTA person, but I was also running a consulting business. I have 35 years in organization development and leadership development. So what happened was there was just this shift when she left. There was a big hole, and that just made me think, I know there's something more I need to do. And so that was my encore, was realizing other people are in this same situation, and I want to help other people.
And how long have you been involved with Encore Tampa Bay?
This is probably, we're coming up on 2 years.
2 years, okay. And I'm still over at the site again. People can learn more about this over at Encore Tampa Bay, some of the workshops that you've got coming up. Got to take a quick bottom of the hour break, but coming back from the break, I want to talk to you about some of these different workshops and ways that you're helping the baby boomer generation get involved in the entrepreneurial spirit, as well as hear more from Michele Norris, founder of Navigen Leadership, about what the millennials are doing out there in the workforce and the landscape out there as well. If you're just tuning in, we're here on Working Women Wednesdays here on That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business.
Hi, welcome to Yeager's. We just want to take a minute and show you what we're all about. At Yeager's, our primary business is hardwood flooring, although we are remodelers for kitchen, bath, and general construction. We operate a fleet of shop-at-home vans that have all the flooring-type products, hardwood flooring, laminate flooring, tiles, stone, what have you. So we're able to come out first with products in our vehicles and take a look at the setting, how the colors will work, and then to be able to come up with some options and ideas for you. If that's not good enough, we have a large distribution center that we inventory product and have a nice display area.
You don't have to be a programmer. Just drag and drop everything into place. It's your website, your style. Show the world what you can do. Go to Wix.com and create your own stunning website today. It's easy and free.
Welcome to Staples. How can I help you?
Hey, Staples guy. I need to promote my new business and do it on budget.
I can make that happen.
Can you print business cards?
Staples can print business cards, brochures, banners.
Pens?
Pens, magnets, luggage tags.
Calendars.
Calendars, sticky notes, lawn signs, and window decals.
What about foam fingers?
What color? Red, yellow, blue?
You had me at yellow.
Make on budget happen, make getting noticed happen. Staples, make more happen. Now at Staples, get 40% off large banners, posters, and lawn signs.
Offer valid on all large banners, posters, and lawn signs in store and online and 6/27/15. Discount applied before taxes. May not be combined with any other offer. See store staples.com/signs for details.
What are you doing?
I'm turning this hedge into a dolphin-shaped topiary.
But this house isn't yours. In fact, I just showed it to you.
Oh, I'm gonna buy it.
Softly confident.
Well, I am an excellent candidate for a home loan. I pulled an 809 FICO score at Experian.com, so getting a mortgage is merely a formality. What do you think I should do with this other hedge? A giraffe?
Get your credit swagger on. Become a member of Experian Credit Tracker and find out your FICO score powered by Experian. FICO scores are used in 90% of credit decisions.
This report is brought to you by Advance Auto Parts. Wondering if your car's battery is reaching the end of the line? Stop by Advance Auto Parts. They'll test it for you, free of charge. And if you do need a new battery, they'll install that too. Again, no charge. Only at Advance Auto Parts.
From the Bright House Network's Traffic Center.
Stop and go traffic this morning, southbound 275 between Fletcher Avenue and Hillsborough Avenue. Also seeing delays southbound 275 from I-4 to about Himes. Westbound I-4 delays from 22nd Street into 275. If you see traffic problems, call the injury firm of Abrahamson and Uterwick. Hillsborough traffic tip line 866-545-9595.
Winds Weather Center forecasts. Hot day coming up with most of the Bay Area hitting the upper 80s. Sunshine, a few scattered clouds in the skies, and should stay dry today. Tonight's lows near 70, upper 60s. Impact Radio, 1250 winds.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
Welcome back, everybody, to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business. It's Working Women Wednesdays here on That Business Show with Jamie Maloney. And again, this is a weekly feature sponsored by the Working Women of Tampa Bay Networking Group and Jessica Rivelli, and the CEO and founder of the group. Learn more about them over at workingwomenoftampabay.com. And again, you'll find this show on each this segment on each Wednesday. And also, you can learn more about the show over at tampabayradio.com. And feel free to connect with me on all the social networking sites as well. I'm over on facebook.com/That Business Show. Twitter under the handle Jamie_Maloney. In the last segment there, we were talking with Bevan Rogel a little bit about Encore Tampa Bay and the role of baby boomers and what they're doing out there in the environment. And we were also talking with Michele Norris, founder of Navigen Leadership. And her focus is more on consulting and educating the employers out there on the shifts in the generations, the millennials through into the baby boomers. And I want to know more about what millennials are looking for, Michele, out of a leader. Talk to me about this.
Certainly. So leadership from a millennial perspective incorporates collaboration, transparency, authenticity, and yes, even the word vulnerability. Okay. So that's a kind of a foreign concept to a lot of folks. It certainly was for me when I first understood this. But a leader who can embrace all of those things, which, by the way, women do pretty naturally, which makes us what I like to say, we don't need to lean in. We can actually lead out with this generation. We are already equipped to take the place of that leader with this generation. So that's kind of a different way to approach leadership. When I speak about this with those organizations that hire me, I find that the leaders are able to relax into that a little bit and kind of calm down. It's not so much that you have to be somebody you're not, but rather be who you already are, and that is exactly the leader they're looking to follow.
What are some of the differences in the skill set between millennials and the baby boomers? What do millennials, have stronger in, and what do the baby boomers have, stronger capabilities in? What are some of the differences that you see in these two different groups?
Well, actually, the differences that the way I look at this, rather than looking at differences, I look at actually the fact that it's strengths, and this collaboration is really important, which is one of the things that Bevan and I have really found that's amazing is the natural tendency for boomers and millennials to be able to work together. Actually, we are the parents of the millennial generation, so it's a lot easier for us to understand millennials than it is actually for Gen Xers. Gen Xers have more of a difficulty understanding where millennials are coming from, and so it's tapping into things like meaning at work. What is it? What is the reason for us to be here? Our whys. The important things for this generation are organizations that can connect them to that why, and leaders that can lead them to that why.
And it's really both generations that really are doing that meaning and purpose and the why. Yep. They ask it in different ways, but it is important for both.
Yeah, Bevan, talk to me about a little bit more about how the millennials and the baby boomers, complement each other. How does this go hand in hand?
Well, it's interesting. We talk about this as our entrepreneur show. Is it really what shows up, especially with entrepreneurs, as millennials are going on that path of starting a business and older adults are? What we see is that the millennials have the technology savvy. They know how to really understand networks and technology to really make that work. What boomers have is a lifetime of experience, a business, judgment, problem solving. Let's get the team together. I know I need a thinker, I need a detail person, so that blend of both. So what we don't have is the technology savvy that millennials have. So I think that's, do you add anything else, Michelle?
Yeah, and the other thing I would add is, the old way of doing things is that, you need to find a mentor. You need to find somebody, and I see a lot of organizations saying, okay, well, we need to mentor this generation. The reality is that we need to co-mentor, and we have just as much to learn from them as they do from us. And when we reframe the way we look at mentoring and actually form collaborative partnerships with what I call intergenerational think tanks, putting different generations together, including Gen X, when you start to get the power that each of these generations bring to the table and the way that they approach work and use them together,
it's amazing.
It is amazing.
Okay, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
Yeah, and what we have found is that when I work with all the different generations, we do so much more than what Bevan and I can do together, because we just reach a wall, and we're to the point of our capacity with certain things. But millennials will bring such a tremendous amount of value that we can't.
Now, Navigen Leadership, your company, and correct me if I'm wrong, focuses on educating the employer. Do you also consult and work with the millennials? I know, Bevan, you're working with the baby boomer. Do you work with the employers and stuff? So talk to me about that. I'm getting the gist that you work pretty much with the employer and you're working more with the employee role. Tell me about this and if I'm wrong or not.
Actually, I work all ends of the spectrum. So in addition to being a consultant, I'm also a coach, leadership coach. So I will work with millennials just actually in college, first into their jobs, as well as interns within organizations, and also with the leaders that are already there. So my sweet spot is actually having all the generations together inside of an organization. And
Okay, so you're coaching, consulting, and speaking with both sides of the spectrum.
Absolutely.
You're the millennials
Yep.
as well as the employers. Bevan, is that the same for you? I know your focus of Encore Tampa Bay is to assist baby boomers getting into the entrepreneurial arena, but are you also coaching and working with the employers on how to accept them into the arena?
Absolutely. And
Talk to me
if
about
you
how
look
they
at
can-
my model on my website, there's supply and demand. So on the supply side, we're helping people figure out what it is they want to do in the second half. On the demand side, it's how do we help organizations see this different shift that's going on and how we can leverage that to their advantage. So part of the beginning of the journey is really talking to companies about how do we think differently about this group of 55 plus. How do we transition out? How do we set up that co-mentoring that Michelle's talking about? How do we, as organizations, give people a chance to find meaning in the work that they're doing now, or give them opportunities to go do what they want to do? A lot of people stay stuck in a job because they don't know that there's other options that are out there. So I am in the process of really trying to open up that awareness with companies as well.
Michelle, when you're talking with millennials, I hear a lot of reports from time to time that the workplace environment or the availability of jobs is very difficult out there. Talk to me about the landscape out there that you're hearing from the millennials in terms of finding employment out there and everything, and their ability to get in with the different employers out there.
Well, if you can look at it from every side of the coin, Jamie. But the way I prefer to look at it, and what I find is, they can find jobs, but the key for them is finding jobs that they really can connect to and utilize their strengths. A lot of times, what will happen is they'll get into a job and they're doing a task, which for us as boomers was very normal. We came into the job and
we were told to do that.
told, just sit there and do your spreadsheet or do whatever it is that you do. They don't get that. They really need to know, if I'm doing a spreadsheet, what is the purpose of the spreadsheet? What is the bigger, how does it connect to the higher purpose, which is one of the reasons they love nonprofits, is because the connection to that brand is very, very visible to them. So the key thing for them is understanding that meaning, and they will thrive when a leader can connect that for them.
Okay, let me go back over to Bevan Rogel with Encore Tampa Bay. You've got a number of different workshops that assist baby boomers with getting them back into the workforce and also into as an entrepreneur as well. I see you got one coming up here April 10th, Discover Your Strengths. But talk to me about the different workshops and presentations that are available out there for people in this space to get involved with Encore Tampa Bay.
Well, the really fun and exciting thing is it's not just us doing that at the Encore Academy, but I've really built a strong partnership with AARP, with LifeReimagine.org, which is a great discovery tool that you can do, lifereimagine.org, the Tampa Bay Job Links, Career Source, the Center for Women, the Nonprofit Leadership Center. So I'm really connecting Coming of Age Tampa Bay, which is another great nonprofit helping people. So I'm really starting to really create this hub and network so people can go not only to the Encore Academy, but we can send them to Center for Women has got an incredible new business center for women that is just doing a really incredible job of helping women get on their feet, whether it be in a job or an entrepreneur. So I'm all about helping people connect to where all the resources are.
How has the response been from the baby boomers, Bevan, in this space with Encore Tampa Bay? And are you getting a great response? And how are you getting this message out to the community?
Well, thanks. Radio shows certainly do help a lot. I have I'm active on my social media as well. But what we find happening is that when you talk to people and they say, "Yeah, this is exactly what's going on for me," and then when we set up these discussion groups and workshops, people are not always quick to jump in because this is kind of different for them. They're like, why do I need to go to a workshop to figure out what I want to do with the second half of my life? So we really are starting what I call getting ready to get ready. So discussion groups, just different ways of once people get in the same room together and they know that they're all going through this, I am ready to do this thing that I've had burning inside me. And when everybody hears that, it's very empowering. I mean, Michelle's seen it in action with our discussion groups and workshops.
Yeah, Michelle, I want to go back over to you and learn more about Michelle's company. I want to get this out there, NavigenLeadership.com, and Bevan's site, EncoreTampaBay.com. But NavigenLeadership.com. I keep want to say Navigen. You told me up front. It's Navigen, which makes sense, generations. But you have a number of different workshops and ways to get your message out. Talk to me about how your company focuses.
Certainly. So I go in and I speak with the organization's leaders, and we typically will start with the leadership group and have them to understand really what is the future at work? What are we looking at in the very near future? We're actually looking at a shortage of 16 to 18 million college educated workers by 2020, 5 years from now. We're going to have a shortage of college educated workers. I know it's hard to believe.
Yeah, that is hard to believe. You hear so much about the job landscape out there is
exactly.
So bad.
But we really are seeing this 78 million boomers leave, and we've got 83 million millennials coming in, and organizations are in a flux. They're just having a great deal of difficulty seeing this transition kind of unfold and how they need to react and what they need to do. So I will start with that leadership group, and then I will work with their different parts of their organization, be it the millennials themselves, the Gen Xers themselves, as well as their leadership group.
Oh, got to take a quick break here, but if you're just tuning in, this is Working Women Wednesdays here on That Business Show with Jamie Maloney, where business becomes show business.
Are you looking for a local real estate firm that knows the market and has your interests in mind? Then contact Jim McPeak at McPeak Real Estate Firm, a family-owned business whose agents have over 60-plus years of experience in the Tampa Bay market. Many of the agents are military veterans that know the VA process for buying a home and are proud to help our military members in any way they can. From residential to commercial real estate, McPeak Real Estate Firm is here to help. Contact Jim at 813-495-3875 and learn more at McPeakTeam.com.
Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage wants you to experience the thrill of one-day underwriting and the comfort in knowing your loans will be clear to close in record time. While the competition looks to a lost closing date, Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage focus on their 12-day clear to close. They do this by utilizing their world-class operations staff to underwrite your loan within 6 hours, process your loan in 12 days, and have your loan closed in time. Underwritten in 6 hours, cleared to close in 12 days. Bud Spriggs and Movement Mortgage.
Hey there, it's Lynn Wise, the founder of Wise Business Advisors and Contractor Business Alliance. I am a certified value builder advisor, and I help business owners build a company that will allow them to have the business that they dreamed of when they started. Why did you go into business for yourself? I'm sure it was not to work 100 hours a week with no work-life balance and no financial freedom. What am I talking about? I'm talking about building a business that provides value to you and your family now and in the future. You can learn about the 8 essential areas of a business that you must build to have a business that can be an asset for your future. Go to wisebusinessadvisors.com and take the Value Builder score. It is free and will deliver your score immediately on how you are doing on building a valuable business for you and your family. Or call me at 772-834-8513 to learn more about the Value Builder system.
In the market for a reverse mortgage? Contact Access Reverse, a local company with personalized service in the Bay Area. Call them at 727-347-0305 or visit accessreverse.com for a no-cost, no-obligation consultation. They'll come to your home and speak with you about the best options for your reverse mortgage. Plus, they offer the lowest closing costs. Don't just get a reverse mortgage. Get the right reverse mortgage with Access Reverse. Visit accessreverse.com. NMLS number 4566. Are you in need of new flooring or ready to tackle that home remodeling project? Then contact Yeager & Company Incorporated, a family-owned, state-certified general contracting business with over 70 years of experience and the recipient of the Angie's List Super Service Award for the last 8 years in multiple categories. Yeager & Company comes to you with their shop-at-home flooring sales service, and their hardwood flooring refinishing is the very best in the Bay. Kitchen and bath design featuring American-made, well-born cabinets, and all work is done by employees, not subcontractors. Learn more at YeagerFlooring.com.
This report is brought to you by Advance Auto Parts. Advance Auto Parts introduces Speed Perks Rewards Program. Spend $100 and get $20 off your next qualified purchase. No cards, no points, no nonsense. See details online at advanceautoparts.com.
from the Bright House Network's Traffic Center.
Slow traffic this morning westbound I-4 from I-75 to past MLK. Southbound Veterans Expressway, you'll see delays from Wilski Boulevard to Waters Avenue. And look out for delays northbound 275 from the Howard Franklin Bridge to about Lois. If you see traffic problems, call the injury firm of Abrahamson and Uterick. Hillsborough Traffic Tip Line 866-545-9595.
Today, a 20% rain chance with a high 86. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 70. Tomorrow, 10% rain chance, high 87.
You're listening to That Business Show with Jamie Maloney on 1250 Wins WHNZ. Once again, here's your host, Jamie Maloney.
Welcome back, everybody. It's That Business Show with Jamie Maloney here on 1250 WHNZ, and it's our Working Women Wednesdays feature, a weekly segment highlighting two professional women from the Working Women of Tampa Bay networking group. Learn more about them over at workingwomenoftampabay.com. In studio today, I'm talking with Bevan Rogel, president and founder of Encore Tampa Bay, and Michele Norris, founder of Navigen Leadership. Learn more about them over at EncoreTampaBay.com and NavigenLeadership.com. And I want to come back over to Bevan Rogel here, and we're talking a little bit during the break there about ageism, the fear of the older employee and everything, and the workforce and everything. What are you seeing in that space? Or do you really see a lot of pushback from employers accepting the older employee into the workforce?
Yeah, I think that it's not a huge issue, but it's there. And what we're seeing in the statistics are showing that for people 50 plus who lose their jobs, they have a longer time to find another job, and that oftentimes the mindset of employers are, let's invest our money in the young millennials because we don't have to pay them as much as we do this person who's had 30 years of experience in terms of what's there. So it requires a little bit more, and part of what we do in helping older adults is think differently about how you're marketing yourself and how you network yourself, because it's not the resume anymore. That's not how it works. So I think as much as it is a challenge for boomers, I think the win-win is that ultimately, as people get frustrated and say, okay, I guess I'm not going to look for that kind of job, it forces them really to find the thing that really gets them excited. That's why the fastest growing age group of entrepreneurs in the country today is age 55 to 65. So we have this fast growing group of people who say, I can't find a job. Okay, I really want to, maybe I'll start a new business for myself. And I want to do a quick shout out to a great Career Source, has a great 10-week free entrepreneurial program for those of you who are looking for a job and can't find a job. It's an incredible hands-on experience. So if you go to Career Source, I think it's careersource.org, and it's a new program called Startup Quest, and they have a new class starting in May. So a great opportunity to, if you're thinking about entrepreneur. And again, Center for Women has some great workshops as well.
And I'm over at your site again, EncoreTampaBay.com, and just looking over some of the resources and programs that you have available in the Bay Area. Talk to me a little bit more about the Greenhouse Encore Academy and what this resource entails.
Yeah, the Greenhouse is actually an initiative with the City of St. Pete and the Chamber. It started 2 years ago. It's kind of where my launching point was, where the concept of economic development is let's grow entrepreneurs. It's not just let's bring in new businesses. And so at the Greenhouse, there's about 20 different partners, not only the SBA, SBDC, SCORE, Tampa Bay Wave, Tampa Bay Innovation Center. So we do 1 million cups of coffee every Wednesday at 9 a.m. So after your show, we can all go over there. But it's just a great entrepreneurial ecosystem and a great place if you're thinking about being an entrepreneur. There's lots of great programs. Again, St. Pete Greenhouse is stpetegreenhouse.org. And again, going to my website, you can see all the connections for that. So it's been really fun to really partner with all these different organizations.
I want to go back over to Michele Norris, founder of Navigen Leadership. Learn more about her company over at NavigenLeadership.com. And to be honest with you, I kind of learned something today, because I've always been kind of under the impression that you're saying that there's limited jobs out there for the workforce, the millennials and everything. But you're saying there's going to be a shortage for this coming up in 5 years, and you hear so much about all the millennials are slack or they're not properly educated. Talk to me about this myth and what you're seeing out there there within your company?
Certainly. Well, everybody's got labels that they like to use, and I'm seeing an awful lot of press about it recently. And the word that you hear with millennials is that, two things, that they're entitled and they don't have a good work ethic. And, it's so bad with the press is in that I'm having a lot of trouble with millennials that I have in my workshops, even self-identifying as millennials. Well, I'm technically a millennial, but I'm not really a millennial. This is how bad this press has become. And entitled, I'm not really sure. Well, I know where it's all come from, but I don't believe it. And I certainly, when it comes to work ethic, I think that we've created that monster. And when I ask people to define what that means, when I ask a boomer what work ethic means, I will hear things like, well, I expect you to be there early and I expect you to stay late for work. And boomers typically identify work with a clock. And millennials don't do that. Mm-hmm. Millennials define work by what they accomplish, and it's a 24-hour period, and they're pretty much on the clock all the time. So when we ask them to sit into this or fit into this peg, this square peg in a round hole, we're asking for disaster. So one of the things that I talk about with leaders is, what is our workforce going to look like? What will work look like? And it will not be measured by the clock. It will be measured by results. And we have all of these jobs out here that we measure by a job title, and then of course we don't actually do that, what it says in those job titles, but we measure it between 8 and 5. Well, the reality is that we don't accomplish everything that we're supposed to between the hours of 8 and 5. And so work ethic becomes very muddy to a millennial when they show up at a workplace and they've got their work done by 10 because they're so bored and can actually innovate different ways to do things, and yet we're asking them to sit there till 5.
Right.
So I try and help organizations really understand how to best utilize this talent you have, and to be a little bit more flexible. We talked about boomers wanting more flexibility in the workplace. We really need to think about how we define work and what work ethic really looks like.
And what's one of the biggest obstacles that you have to overcome when coaching employers when discussing, millennials and stuff? What is the common complaint that you hear from the employers in that space when you're talking to them about hiring millennials?
Well,
is it that they're always on Facebook and social networking sites, or what?
Yeah, they're starting to learn. They're starting to learn that social media is a great way to promote your business as well. I mean, we've made a lot of turns in the time since I've had my business, but what I find is the most difficult part for organizations is that middle of the organization where you have a middle manager who just is under the gun and doesn't understand who they're dealing with.
Right.
It's either, if I'm a Gen Xer, I don't understand millennials, or if I'm a millennial, I don't understand Gen Xers. And so the education of what everybody brings to the table and why everybody has specific roles in the organization is critical.
And that's what your company, Navigen Leadership, helps to accomplish out there in the Tampa Bay community. So, hey, great interview. Thank you very much, Michele Norris, for coming in and talking to me about Navigen Leadership, and learn more about her company at navigenleadership.com. And also thank you to Bevan Rogel with Encore Tampa Bay as well.
Thank you, Jamie, for having us on the show. It's been fun.
Very good.
And thanks to Jessica.
And thanks to Jessica Rivelli as well on this Working Women Wednesdays feature every Wednesday here on That Business Show. Learn more about the organization over at workingwomenoftambabay.com. And I'll see you all back in here tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. on That Business Show with Jamie Meloni, where business becomes show business.